may have to go grab my other book. Today Wednesday or Thursday? Wednesday. So, foreign language or languages in general. Let's see. Review. A lot of the stuff that we talked about in the last stream was about like real and non-real languages in movies and games, and understanding the differences. Like for the younger generations, of understanding that there are some languages that are translated into games and movies. And then there's others that are not real. Like Simlish, or like in the Fifth Element, or Final Fantasy, Elder Scrolls, stuff like that. Which I haven't seen Elder Scrolls, so I don't know. I know in Fifth Element they do. Using of in the news, I did notice that like in some of the newer cartoons and stuff, they're starting to use languages that are in existence today, but haven't really been translated into English yet. And there's a website that you guys can go on that's being funded right now by, I think it's like the UN or something. And they're trying to find people who will translate languages from like a long time ago, or tribes that don't really have an equivalency of what a word is in the English language yet. So for us to translate it, how can you translate a word that doesn't exist? So they're leaving it as an open platform for anyone who has any idea of what it is and what it means to give an idea. And I think that's kind of cool. I'm not sure if you have to have some kind of like background. Maybe there's like a background check for me. I don't know. But I've never been to the website. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see. Open website for translation of tribal language. Let's just put it as that. Translations Without Borders is one of them. It's a global community of over 100,000 members helping people get vital information and be heard in whatever language they speak. I'm not sure if it's part of the Karuk tribe language program, but they do have a dictionary and online texts that are searchable, and sound recordings, some photos. OpenL Translate is an accurate AI translation in 100 plus languages. I'm waiting for them. Like right now, Google Translate's pretty good, I think. Sorry, I keep touching my face. I got poison something all over me. If you're wondering why I'm shiny, that's why my face is sprayed. It's ideal. OpenL Translate is more for like writing aid and grammar correction of translated languages. I can't remember what the name of it was. But it was in the news because I remember like about a week or two ago we had talked about it, and I didn't write down what it was. And I can't remember the name of the website or what specific I think it was like Bush language, like where they click. Khoisan. Here is a Khoisan click language. This is, I'm going to share my screen. Wait, hold on. I don't know. Can you share YouTube on Twitch? I don't think I can. I can let you listen to it though.
I think you can share. You just have to like this.
Like that.
You have to keep that in frame. The
In
thing that's up here because it says who posted it in.
So this is, I'm probably not even saying it correctly, but Khoisan click language, and he is tribal, and he's trying to explain something about sleeping and eating. And it's funny because, like, when you listen to these languages, or if you just listen to people from other countries long enough, you can get, for the most part, a baseline of what they're talking about if you really listen and pay attention to body language, pay attention to movements. You know, you base it off of your own movements when you're speaking. I mean, every part of language in itself is included in that. So you have your mouth sounds, which is independent to each person because each one of our mouths is shaped different. Each one of our teeth placement's different. Our tongue placement, depending on how we learn, the way we say things, mouth movements and stuff like that, it's all going to sound differently. That's why each person's voice sounds different because your voice box is different. So language, like sound and frequency in language, is in correlation with body movements, and your typical like gestures that you would make, which kind of goes hand in hand with ASL because that's sign language.
There's different types of sign language than ASL. Too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different types of language, and a lot of different things kind of like work together in that communication. And I feel like that's a lot of where people get miscommunication is because
there's also different dialects.
Because they're not under, like, their brain is not fully comprehending what they're receiving, the information that they're receiving. And I feel like that's where miscomprehension, miscommunication comes in, is because of that. Because each one of our thought patterns and frequencies are our own, but when we're in conversation or within close proximity of each other, according to science, our frequencies start to kind of go with the same wave, go with the flow, kind of free thinking or same thinking. And it's actually like a thing that we do as human beings and as a energy in ourselves.
If you lock two people in a room for like a year, and those two were the only ones to talk, they would form their own language. It's just like some of it
in close proximity,
be able to understand.
Yeah,
and that's how. Like if you go overseas and everything, everyone else is speaking something different because everyone there kind of mixed dialects because they were in so close proximity.
I mean, even if you want to speak religiously in the Tower of Babel, prior to the Tower of Babel, we all spoke one language. And in the Tower of Babel falling and us all being cast out into different regions of the world, according to the Bible, that that's why we all speak different languages. So
I was talking about Pangea.
Yeah. And we were talking in Sciences last week about one conversation I was having with my mom too is, us sending out rockets with our DNA on it that's crash landing on other planets far, far away in evolutionary time. Language will change evolutionarily in each area, in each group, and in each section of either animal, plant, human, doesn't matter. Everything kind of communicates with each other in their own small form. Going back to frequency, it's all connected. So that's why I feel like if we do just listen to each other, then we'll be able to understand each other a little bit better. But a lot of people don't want to do that. So, and it's hard sometimes to try to listen to somebody, especially when you don't want to hear what they're saying. So, yes, ramen is life.
Buttered ramen, because autism. I would love to see what German Sign Language looks like.
Yeah, because in another language, sign language would look different, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So even your basic ASL hand symbols will change.
I can see maybe.
How do you do like Russian sign language or Japanese sign language? I think it's Japanese or Chinese culture, emotion is part of their language. It's actually part of their hand strokes when they write. So when you're angry writing, you can legitimately see the anger in the writing.
Let's see if people are okay.
I didn't hear any blood curdling screams, so I think we're okay. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I am beyond completely covered in poison ivy or poison sumac or poison oak something. It is all freaking over me. Any new? What are different ways to communicate questions and answers? And next week, let me check out my Google Calendar. See if I have any like little notes. Usually I'll write forward like things that I want to talk about next week. But here lately we've been kind of recycling a lot of the same conversations, and I want to kind of move that forward. So how long can you go without talking? I mean, me personally, eventually I end up talking to myself even when isolated. So I feel like I could go a good portion of a day without talking, like naturally. But eventually somewhere in there I am going to talk to myself. So how long do you think you can go without talking?
Well, think about when I was in school back in like elementary school.
I mean, for you it's like 4 years, but for me it's like a couple hours. So
you talk to yourself.
I talk to myself on stream for hours on end. This next question is a good one.
Dakota got mad at his Xbox controller, threw it at the wall, kicked the trash can across the room. Started flipping out because his Xbox controller's messed up.
So throwing it's going to make it better. Mm-hmm. Just like I always say, can't make it work, make it work. Next question. What is something that you wish you could say, but you feel like you can't? It's a Szechuan. I'm just kidding. wish to share? I'm joking, naturally. The actual question is supposed to be a little bit deeper than that, but I'm just... Construction. I still don't even say it right. Milk. There's, I don't know, when I'm reading, it really gets me. Like, if I don't stop at the end of every sentence and take a breath, like, I fumble my words so damn bad. Because ramen and gummy worms. Bears. Ta-da. What is something that you wish that you could say, but you feel like you can't? I said Worcestershire. She said construction.
I look like a trash grandma. I went to sleep with red, blue, and black makeup on. You can tell.
I look like I rolled in boiling water.
Currently, I look like I have Down syndrome.
I'm not even sure how to respond to that.
Look on the stream. You can't see the top part of my nose bridge.
Is that like a characteristic of it?
It just makes my eyes kind of look.
So I'm trying to think.
I look like a fish. But if I tilt my head up, it's like... with my head tilted down.
All right. What is something that you want to say to your younger self?
I have too much trauma to say stuff like that on the stream.
I was going to say pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. What is something that you wish that you could say, but you feel like you can't?
Hi, viewer. Look, yeah, it's
like, what is something that like would be socially unacceptable to talk about and slightly taboo, but it's a conversation that like it needs to happen, but nobody's willing to talk about it?
Politics.
Okay. I was thinking more along the lines of like, I was going to say sex, but that taboo kind of is slowly becoming more integrated into everything. So, like something that you feel like should be legal to say, like to even talk about, but it's not. Or like we've always been told like, oh, well, you shouldn't talk about that or whatever. Like, I think childhood trauma is one of them. Like, nobody ever talks about the shit that happened when they were kids, except for like today with my dad. He was telling me about the stuff that happened when he was a kid that was normal for him.
It's not normal.
And it's not. It's not normal. Like, that's not okay. Like, your parents or your aunts sitting you down and like forcing you to eat, even if it's food that you don't like or that you just don't eat it. And like your parents like forcing you to eat it.
Like people saying that they didn't have allergies.
And it's not because of a lack of food. It's literally just out of a control thing.
Like people saying they didn't have allergies.
Yeah, like telling people that they don't have allergies
like
to
we
something.
didn't have nut allergies back in our day. Like, yes, you did.
Yeah.
You probably died over it because y'all didn't do anything.
Like a lot of stuff that was either not communicated growing up or back in the day maybe is more so now, and you hear about it more now because it wasn't talked about then, and like vice versa, you know, some stuff that was majorly talked about you don't even hear about it anymore. Like all of the trends for 2022.
I've seen a whole bunch of trends.
Like there's so much stuff that's happened in the past like
4 years.
4 or 5 years that I can't even keep up with anything anymore. Like, I have no idea who's what now, and
Who's
like,
gummy bears?
I don't know, but I'm eating them. They're organic. Does that count? Black Forest gummy bear. They're actually not bad. They're actually like slightly better than regular gummy bears, which is, I don't like vegan stuff. Or what? I don't know, but I eat it.
If you went back, this isn't vegan.
Thought it was
Gelatin.
Oh, see, I'm not good with vegan. I'm vegan. You're eating cow. Yeah, he ate vegetables.
If you look on the stream, you're probably like light Barbie, like, and I'm like,
I look like I got stung a million times in the face with a fucking bee.
And I look like I was your, like,
oh, wow, no. Shit. Okay.
Tries to think of it. I'm not gonna get you banned joke, like.
Yeah, how we don't. I look like shit today and I really don't care.
Still trying to think of it.
Alright.
It looks like I look like I probably would be wearing a hoodie constantly.
It used to just be your hair.
Angie Core 2020. You know what I mean by that? Or 2019.
Yeah. What is something you want to say to your younger self? Other than pull the trigger. Yes, stab him. I don't, I'm just joking. Not really. I'm not gonna say. So no, like I feel like there's
like,
we did talk about this in sciences actually, with like frequencies and
outside of stream, like
time travel. That their language actually does correlate with your younger self and your older self versus now. The way that you communicated when you were a child versus how you communicate now and how you will communicate in the future is going to be different. It's going to become, evolutionized with your own self, like with your own experiences and stuff. So like say if you travel.
How younger?
Any younger. Like what would you say to your younger self if you could say, if your younger self was sitting across the table right now, knowing at whatever age it is, doesn't matter, whatever age that you can communicate to them. Like if you visualize that in your mind, you can actually communicate to your younger self.
Thinking about like going back in mind and time, if like 5-6 years old saw myself, I would scream.
Oh yeah. I mean, not really, because
well, think about what I used to look like.
You ever see The Ring?
I would scream, the younger self would scream at me.
I'm not joking. When I say, like, okay, hold on, I need to look this up. I want to show you the scene that I'm specifically talking about in The Ring. If you don't already know it, you're about to find out. Okay, maybe, hold on, let me retype that. Somehow I fucked it up and somehow got a cherub picture.
Extremely long hair art.
Here we go. Perfect! Samara. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Trigger warning.
Ghosty, scary.
I'm just gonna say trigger warning. If you don't know by now, to just go ahead and click off.
Scary.
If you get scared by shit, or like if something offends you in some way by me saying trigger warning first. Just saying.
It's scary. It's nothing scarier than me currently. But.
Okay, so this is Renee. This was her when she was a kid. Like that is the perfect definition of what she was.
My hair was so long, and then when I was like 7 years old, I chopped it down to my shoulder.
It was very long, and she was really skinny, and she did not talk. Like, if she talked, it was mumbling down, like, right there. And then she would talk under her hair. And she wouldn't face you. She'd face away from you. So when she'd come down the hallway in the middle of the night and stand at my doorway or at the end of my motherfucking bed, and I'd wake up to this shit standing there.
Homeschool language. They click on and see that. No, keep me in the shadow. I look better in the shadow.
Yeah. It's like,
I look like a Malibu Barbie in the light.
So, there you go. But, yeah.
His nose ring like glows in the light.
So what would you say to that? That scary fucking little thing in the hallway.
I was like 4 years old. When my hair is that long.
I have a picture of you when you were 2, and it is the cutest picture I've ever seen of you. You had your hair in pigtails.
If my younger self
denim dress
was sitting across from the table from what I look like currently, my younger self would just scream.
Not just look like, but like your whole persona, like you as a person. How do you feel like your younger self would
react?
Like, be able, like, would your younger self be able to communicate with the new you?
No. I think they would have a heart attack if I say I work in customer service. I say my stomach hurts, and then I look at what I've eaten. I've eaten a bowl of ramen, chugged half a Sprite, and I've eaten about half a bag of gummy bears.
But these gummy bears are like adorable, and you want to eat them.
Oh, they're
especially
like
when they fall on
1990s Teletubby core.
I would say if my younger self was there, I would say go look under the stairs. Because then it would end my fear right then.
Go grab some balloons.
Go play with balloons.
Don't put them in your mouth, though.
Yeah. Because you're not supposed to put them in your mouth, even though they're fucking balloons. That's another thing, too. Communicating fear. I know I do it a lot. I try to put the fear of God in things, especially when it's serious situations and I'm trying to get my point across. And I feel like nobody is listening to me.
And grab some milk for the house. Make sure you don't get kidnapped. I saw a lot of things on the news. People were getting kidnapped and murdered. Like,
it's true. It's
true.
Good
luck trying to kidnap me.
No, you can still get kidnapped. I don't care what size you are. I don't care anything. I don't care. You can still get kidnapped. A dude got kidnapped out of his front fucking yard mowing his lawn.
That was like 2 years ago.
Still!
Me.
Yeah, you think you're invincible, but you're not.
I found out how to talk for it. The guy at work. Me, carrying a gallon of milk like this. Yes, kidnap me.
Am I wrong?
I lift chairs for a living.
There is only so much protection that I can give anybody.
Okay, well.
And then after that point.
She's been saying it since I was like 10 years old. Don't get kidnapped. Someone will murder you.
They will take your organs and sell them. And
at this point, is that the worst thing that could happen?
I'm not joking.
I'm not either.
I don't like you walking around up there. Anyway.
I got sprayed with blue paint the other day.
Could have been a drive-by shooting. But luckily it wasn't. So, all right, where was I?
She's like, always looks at the bad things. Being like, oh yeah, there's a carnival. Like, well, we're going to the fair. We're getting some cotton candy. Make sure they didn't put drugs in it.
No. Not like that. But to be fair, I will not ride the rides at a carnival. I'm sorry. I will go to the carnival for the food.
You know the boats that go like that?
But I won't.
We rode on that like 6 times.
Shit's scary.
Why did you click on Wolverine's Hearts to run?
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I was trying to click on a new thingy. What was I doing?
It was like a podcast at this point. What if you put gummy bears in the story?
It's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. Like, for real it is.
Papa was talking to me the other day about how, what is it? If you spend 7+ hours on electronics, you most likely have a phone addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Just screen addiction.
I have a screen addiction. I'll go ahead and say that I do.
I've thought about how much time you spend on your phone, and it's like
pretty much all day, every day, just about. I actually have to force myself to allow my phone to die and then put it on charge and just walk away from it and don't come back to it until after I'm done doing a bunch of shit. Because if I don't, this is why I don't watch TV.
So how was our childhood?
Like, this is legitimately like why I stopped watching TV. Is because I would get so into whatever was on TV, and TV was like never ending. So I got to see the next show.
Because it can't die.
I gotta, what's coming up next? Oh, that looks interesting. What are they going to talk about? And so now, and we were talking about this with the Spectrum guy about the communication to the brain from electronics is so fast now that literally TikTok has an average of 3-second views. So every 3 seconds,
That's your TikTok average. Mine's like 1.2 seconds.
No, this is like an average, like a total average from TikTok.
It tells you how long it took for people to like your videos.
So your brain cannot recreate that in real life. You cannot create a new information going into your brain every 3 seconds in real life, unless you're driving.
That's pure adrenaline.
And like sightseeing as you're driving, or as you're riding, I should say. And even then, I feel like that there is some periods of time in between where it's like what the kids would now call boredom is those moments of silence that they don't know, or void that they don't know what to do with. And that's where it causes the withdrawal symptoms, because then your brain is trying to make up for that lack of that little addiction hit. And now it's like, okay, now I have to go through all these other chemical imbalances because of the fact that there's something off to begin with. Now my brain's trying to make up for it. And now because my brain can't make up for it on its own, that's when all the other emotions start to come in as like a warning. But we express it as like anger or sadness or like frustration or just anything, any kind of reaction.
TikToks have the retention rate, and it tells you how many % of the viewers stayed. So for that video, you know which video it is.
We were reading yesterday, I think it was.
Only 67% stayed for 1 second, and I have 101 viewers on this one video. You can't even see the screen.
Yeah.
But you can see my tank top. That's about all.
But like, they're even trying to put it to where the Surgeon General has a warning on social media, and I think we were talking about that yesterday and
10%
or the other day.
10 seconds, only 10% stayed.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. It's the flipping. It's the new information every 3 seconds, and then not only are you getting one mainstream of that, but now you're getting 3 because you have the shop, and you also have your personal favorites, and then you also have your friends. So now you have 4 different sections of this one app that you're getting new information from every couple of seconds or even 1 second. And your brain can't keep up with that, like on its own. So that's why taking the time every single day to try to like take a break is probably going to be starting to get more enforced because of, mental health. I could be wrong though. They could go the other way and encourage it to be all day, every day, like in the streaming and in just everyday life. I notice a lot of people, a lot more people are streaming now. Not only is it a source of income for a lot of people, but it's also like an escape. So again, another either A, coping mechanism, or B, self-inflicted trauma. I don't know what to call it. Oh yeah, speaking of which, this was kind of weird. I was looking through my thing earlier, and one fucking video out of all the videos that I've had, 300, maybe 400 likes. It's one freaking video of me taking a video downtown Statesville at a new gas station.
Not downtown.
Or, side yard, I guess. I don't know. Somewhere in Statesville. And at Sheets. And it got 12,000 views. 12,000 views.
I posted this one an hour ago. It already has 154.
Look at that. And it has to have been the hashtags. Because my videos don't get those.
For You page.
Yeah, 98% on the For You page. Search inquiries, most of it was Statesville, Sheets. Simone Octavia Williams, Statesville. Who the hell is that?
Octavia Williams.
Who's Octavia Williams?
Simone Williams.
So is somebody's search inquiry for Simone Octavia Williams in Statesville, my video came up? Or is that what that means? Because they're looking for something.
Oh, she got murdered. Oh, murdered. I can't say that one. I can say murder. I can't say.
Wait, what?
An officer survived from 26-year-old Simone Octavia Williams. Yeah.
Oh.
So she was cued.
Yeah. Rest in peace. I never even knew that. I didn't even hear about that till just now. I would have never even have known until I was looking at this.
When was this? May 28th.
See? It says search inquiries. And that's her name. Probably because of Statesville. It's really more for Statesville then.
She was on the front porch of the 911 caller's house. So it wasn't even her house. Fun.
Yay, country life. So yeah, I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting. That all of a sudden, you get those random off view things. It's gonna mess up the algorithm now, but whatever. Not like I had one to begin with, but still. Okay.
2 more likes since I showed you this video. Just the
goes in, likes it with all my different accounts. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not supporting my kids with fake accounts. What are you talking about? All right. So we covered that. What is something you want to say to your younger self? How do you know how to communicate your feelings, or do you feel like you can't? I'll be honest with you. There's times where I feel something, and I actually did communicate this for the first time ever to my mom last night. Did you ever get around somebody and all of a sudden your emotions internally start changing? Whether it's an anxiety attack, you start feeling tingles, you start feeling extremely sad or extremely happy, or it's almost like not you. You're feeling you, but you're also feeling like, okay, there's something extra going on here that I don't know how to identify. There's all of a sudden a lot of emotions for no real apparent reason. I don't know if there is a definition for that. That's perfect.
I'll have to turn on my brightness.
You can't see it at all.
There you go.
You can't see it at all. You can turn the light back up. Once you get closer to the screen, it kind of evens out.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's the worm from the labyrinth for all of y'all who don't know.
That's what I was saying. Like, that's perfect. Like an overflow of emotions, but it's only when it's around certain people. And I explained that to my mom last night, is that I noticed that when I'm around certain people, that I get like this weird feeling that I don't know how to describe. And it becomes so strong that it literally changes my emotional state. Like I will be totally fine hanging out, being whatever. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure that there's autism on my side of the family, but like, and you know how like sometimes people who like hear a lot of loud sounds, they get overwhelmed, stuff like that. This is a little different. This is more of a, it's like fucking with your energy.
Piercing.
I would wear that. I wouldn't say one, maybe like 2 or 3. This thing is itchy. No. Like 6. Yeah. 4.
We need to convince her to get a piercing.
No.
Yeah, those are dermals. I hate those.
But like where it's at, no.
There's one more dermal in here that's worse.
Oh, Jesus.
That's
no,
so
9.
I want to get that one again.
Let's see. 5. I already have it. 2. I do want to get my belly button pierced, but only after I get a tummy tuck. Yeah, I'd say that one's probably a 7 or an 8. No, I actually like that one.
That's the one I want you to get.
This one?
Yeah. It's called the Medusa.
I don't think I could handle getting a piercing right there. Whew, I couldn't imagine. I mean, I like it. It's aesthetically pleasing, not for me.
These ones hurt a little bit. A little bit more than this one did. Nothing more than this one did. My septum hurt so bad, but I lied to Gavin so he would get it.
Gavin, now you know.
Gavin already knows.
Yeah, I guess 8. I actually would switch 8 with 3. Because I really don't.
That's called a Monroe.
I have always liked the Monroe thing. Like the beauty mark. But like, I don't know if I want it as a piercing though. I don't know, it's weird.
Well, you could put a black ball on it and make it look like an actual mole. My only issue with a lot of those piercings is they go in your mouth.
Yeah.
Because I like play with this one so much. I'm surprised I haven't chipped my teeth. The hair is slanted.
How has language evolved in history?
Sorry, we got sidetracked.
How can we communicate to better understand each other? And does talking make you actually feel better afterwards? How do you feel like your language has changed? I know you had like speech stuff. I did too. I had
I still like have to. This is gonna sound weird to people who have never had a speech impediment, but I still have to like manually move my tongue when saying "girl" and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A girl.
I think there's a roll. Girl.
Your tongue goes to the back of your mouth. Mine stays flat, so I go girl.
Girl.
I have to do girl and manually like you know.
Mm-hmm.
Also girl.
Yeah, you can hear like it's almost like it's almost like, you know, when you're talking to someone who's like partially deaf. It's almost like that.
Because I don't know how it's actually supposed to be done.
And your tongue is supposed to roll. Okay. Girl.
I went through like 10 years of speech therapy. I have to move my tongue like all the way to the back of my mouth Girl.
Yep, that's better.
But if I don't manually move my tongue back like that, it's girl.
See, you're thinking about it so much that it's literally making your facial expression change just to do it. Like you're putting so much attention on it, that one letter, that like, it's like for when I say construction, I always see in my mind that there's an X in there. There is no X in construction. But for some reason, my brain goes construction, like that, with an X. Like construct, Xion, construction. Like there is no CT.
Whenever I say girl, I elongate the R because I have to physically move my tongue, so it goes girl.
Yeah, they can't.
Girl. Yeah, I know.
You can hear it, but you can't see it. I figure I have enough teeth missing that you could probably see pretty good.
Girl. You have to like
slightly addicted to these just for one.
You have to like tense up the muscles on the back of your tongue. Girl. People who have never had to actually think about how they talk are probably now realizing that their tongue moves so much when you talk.
Because it becomes like second, like nature now as an adult to just talk. Unless you're learning another language or you're learning more about your own language, you're probably not going to change the way you talk. That's why Robert talks so differently than we do. Or if someone from, even in the United States, someone from a different area in the United States is going to sound, their mouth sound is going to be different.
I would fit in New York.
Than like Louisiana.
I don't have issues saying words with the R in the front of it. It's R in the middle of the word. The only word that I could actually say, which this is like the weirdest word. We were like going through a list of words and this is the only one I could say. And it was eclair.
That's at the end.
It's something.
Yeah.
Evidently I can say the word.
Mm-hmm. There's like when I say milk, because I know it's not milk, it's milk.
Milk.
But I say milk.
Milk. You just completely missed the K.
Yeah.
Milk.
It's like milk. It's like
saying meal.
Milk.
Milk.
MEWLK. Milk.
Kind of like that. MEWL. There's no K. Milk. Milk.
Milk. No, there's a K.
Oh, you're right.
Milk. And then, I'm trying to think. Yeah, like learning languages. You'll notice like a lot of languages are going to be very similar. Like Spanish, Italian, and French are actually very similar, but they're very different in their own ways. Now, Russian's a whole another thing. And then Middle Eastern language, I feel like would probably be the hardest for me to learn other than Japanese or Chinese, because I feel like Korean's even easier to learn than most other languages.
The hard thing with French is that certain words use a different pronoun. Like the word orange, the word pizza, stuff like that.
Mainly translating it. Yeah.
And then like the word cat and dog, they're masculine. So it's spelled differently. So like if you're saying a dog, it'd be un chien. Chien? I can't do the thing. But it's spelled UN. But if you were saying like or an orange, you'd do un orange, which is spelled UNE. Whenever something is feminine in French, you have to add an E on the end.
Ange would love that then. She puts the E on everything. I'm not even joking. In English class, when she was in school, even to this day, she will add letters to the fucking words. Like, she'll just put a random ass letter on the end of a fucking word, and usually it's an E.
It was a T for a little while.
Like, or H, because H is silent.
Minute.
Minute with an H on the end.
One of her spelling tests from like 5th grade. Minute. She wrote. Oh God, how do you spell minute?
MINUT.
Minute.
Mm-hmm.
Minute.
Or manatee. Because she'll, like, I'm serious, she'll put an E on everything.
Manatee does have an E at the end of it.
No. Like
That's
another
minute.
E.
That's a T.
Minatee. T-E.
It does.
Manatee does, but I'm saying minute E. Like, writing the word minute and putting another E at the end. So, yeah.
She wrote minute and put a T on the end. T, not an E.
Okay. I don't know. Has her like she hasn't stopped doing that, has she?
Well, she also hasn't been to school in like 3 years.
Gavin's handwriting, we've been working on that too.
I'll show them one of his little things.
Like handwriting, when you're actually writing out like a lot, right? Is your handwriting? I mean, your handwriting's specific to you. They use that actually in like I think it's like investigations and stuff. The space race. He was doing a little project on that.
He didn't write the space race, I did.
I know handwriting growing up and now for me is a lot better, especially in the past year. Yeah, it's not great, but it's better for me. And
There's no bag.
Can you put the bag in there? Take the trash out, put the bag in. And then put a bag in it, like put on the line, and then put a bag over it. And that way it's already in there.
Where are the bags?
Should be right next to the box. Right there.
Why are they over here?
Because that's where the trash can is.
Why are they over here?
Because that's where the trash can is.
There's a storm.
How can we communicate to better understand each other? I feel like whenever you're having a communication with someone, like getting more, like whenever you're having a conversation with somebody,
better.
Like
whenever you're conversing.
It's another thing too. Like, what words do you use to communicate? Because the way I communicate with people, most people don't understand what I'm saying half the fucking time. My kids do because they've been around me for so long. But
there's a star. I have David Bowie stuff in my head.
Not wrong. It's not a bad thing. Raised you right. Anyway. So
no, I'm finally thinking that my hair is almost to the length where I can do the labyrinth.
Mm-hmm. We need to only put hair extensions on the sides.
I wanted to put hair extensions, like clip them up here.
I want to do the tinsel.
And then I can put tinsel and stuff in them and braid them and do
They were selling tinsel hair extension stuff at
the place has samples.
No.
Sally's?
We went to a market and they were selling big bags of them for like $1.
Remember when we went to the market, me and Angie and you, when we were living here, when we were little, and we got the tinsel put in our hair?
Feathers and tinsel.
Feather and tinsel, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it was $5 for both of you. And now it's a fucking $1 a bag. Like, what?
Well, it's a process of putting it in.
I like a lot of the new things.
I want to get tinsel put like all throughout my hair. But I feel like it wouldn't stand straight up. Or I feel like it would stand straight up, sorry.
So another language is body language. And what you do to your outward self, your self-expression, as far as like your body movements, your eye movements, your clothing, your colors that you choose to wear, or that your style, all of that is a form of communication.
I know eye contact isn't my thing, so whenever I'm like talking to someone, it's like
I usually end up staring right here. I don't look people in the eyes. If I look you in the eyes, usually I'm trying to have a pretty good conversation with you.
When I'm like on the stream where it looks like I'm looking at the camera, I'm looking at myself, like staring myself in the eyes, so it looks like I'm looking at the camera.
Yeah, I'm looking at you in the stream right now.
Yeah,
and I'm looking at the camera.
It's like an easy focal point.
Yeah, it's almost like.
And for me, it looks like I'm staring straight forward. I'm probably not.
Like you're,
like that would be hard. That little green light would be hard for me to focus on.
Oh yeah.
But like it's easier to focus on my movement since I have a lot of that than to focus on one singular thing. Which I guess the plus for the add tab thing would probably be something I could stare at.
Yeah.
But it still looks like you're looking over the camera. Then if I look at myself, my eyes go down at an angle.
Okay, I just look wherever.
Got the energy, I'll tell you all about it.
So, like, one thing I did notice, like, either with autism or with bipolar, with my kids, is that depending on, they say, like, oh, it's just a fad. Like, it's just a phase or something like that, right? We do go through phases where certain colors, certain textures, certain sensations, certain scents,
like peanut butter,
stuff like that. Yeah, it's all part of your communication through your evolution. So
I don't like eating peanut butter just plain, but here recently it's like eating it off a spoon, eating peanut butter and jelly, which I don't like how jelly
drops
and
your
peanut butter
cortisol levels before you go to sleep if you eat a spoonful of peanut butter.
I don't like how jelly and peanut butter and bread feel together. But I've been eating peanut butter and jelly, but I have to toast the bread. So it's not soft on slimy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, different textures.
And I went through a whole ranch phase. I was like,
yep,
ranch everything, like ranch bugles, ranch powder. I still have a bottle of the ranch powder that's like solidifying because of the moisture in the air. I was eating ranch basically on everything, and right now it's mayonnaise.
Yes. She got this Kewpie mayonnaise.
I hate mayonnaise. I'll do a tiniest little smear on anything. But currently,
she, for the longest damn time, and this is what gets me, she will go to a fast food restaurant and only order things a specific way. But then when she's at home and eating it, she's eating it like they would have made it in the store.
This dumb bottle of Kewpie. I bought this on Friday. Showing the stream my obsession. I bought this on Friday. It was full on Friday.
It's not even been a week.
It's Tuesday.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
So
5 days ago.
5 days, mayonnaise. To be fair, though, the bottle does kind of go like this, but, that's what it looks like up top. But she has used that much in a week, and
a little less than a week. But the good thing is, it's in the fridge because you can bend it.
That's Kewpie mayonnaise, by the way. What is that, Japanese or Chinese? Oriental.
It's good.
From the Orient somewhere.
Certain things at restaurants, you brought up the restaurants. Certain things at restaurants, I just don't like how they make it.
Also, food touching.
I've been trying to get over that.
But then she'll mix her food in her plate.
I won't.
Mm-hmm. You'll eat mixed foods. But you'll say that on the plate you don't want them to touch. But then you'll eat foods mixed. It's I'll have to explain it when it's happening.
Have you seen where I've gotten over a good bit of the food not touching? It used to be where if the juice from the corn touched the mashed potatoes, I wouldn't eat that section of mashed potatoes. Mm-hmm. The other day, my pork was touching my corn, and it was annoying me, but I still ate it.
So I used to not be able to sleep through the night when I was a kid. And I would wake up in the middle of the night, and my mom would make me an egg, or I'm just going to go ahead and call it eggy, or a milkshake with an egg in it for some reason. And I didn't realize how weird that was until recently. Like when you were making eggs the other morning, I got like a flashback, like fucking PTSD or some shit.
My piercing touch.
Of me waking up in the middle of the night in the upstate house. And the kitchen was actually where the living room is. Which this actually did happen. This was a real event. This did happen. And she made me an egg, and she made me that milkshake thing. It was literally like milk, sugar, egg, and like something else.
So like vanilla cake mix minus the flour.
Yeah. And vanilla. Yeah. So like
my posture.
I don't know why she needed the egg, but it was in there.
Posture.
So
look at that posture, Mom.
Like I was just thinking about that, like in the middle of the night to wake up and make eggs for your kids and then send them back to bed, and then like I am the weirdest fucking person on the planet.
Are eggs good at promoting sleep? Eggs are one of the top foods you can eat for better sleep.
They say that about celery too.
Because they contain melatonin.
Oh. So they were melatonining me before melatonin was cool. Awesome.
What foods have melatonin in it?
I think celery does.
Milk, nuts, cherries, fish, rice, goji berries, and oats.
Goji berries. Those are good, actually. I like those.
So the best thing you can make if you cook oats in almond milk. That's the only nut I could think about at the time. Put cherries, fish, rice, and goji berries in an egg.
That'd be one hell of a... Because the peanut butter has magnesium in it too, so it helps with the joint pain.
Oh, if nobody knows, my joints are really bit stretchy. It's like, here you go. Let me just. Which is less stretchy right now? Because she doesn't like the joint stretchy.
I don't like the nail stretchy. That's for damn sure.
Oh.
I'm not even looking. I don't care. I'm gonna immediately not look at that. Oh, you just rubbed your hand all over my poison ivy.
I can like
Good job.
bend my fingernails. My fingernails are super short right now.
That's disgusting. Disgusting.
She hates it.
Clearly. Look.
I wonder how long. Why do you?
Looking at Pinterest while doing the languages for homeschooling. Yeah.
Talking about how the internet.
We're not multitasking, are we?
We should do my hair.
Yes.
Look at this.
All right.
I have so much hair on top of my head.
Oh, yes. Going back to the autism and the bipolar. When, for example, when Ange, she went through this whole, and I've noticed it myself as well, like this whole era of like dark colors, sharp edges, everything was grr, right? And then she went into this like softer side of her where it was stuffies and pinks and whites and lighter colors. And you can literally tell when someone is going through trauma and when they're going through healing phase. Like they call it the soft girl era now. Like it's getting pretty popular. A statement that's being said of, you know, women going through their soft girl era is their self-care type of girly slash.
I'm going through my soft girl era. I have pink and white hair.
Feminine side of yourself.
Yeah.
And that
feminine.
Doesn't have to be gender specific, but like
oh yes, feminine soft girl era. And I lift up the thing, it's like, I will murder your children.
No. Anyway.
I'm gonna get her banned off Twitch.
But that's okay, there's like 7 million other streaming platforms now that pay for you to be on there. So I was actually thinking about that too. Because
my nose rings are touching.
I kind of want to make it to where I'm streaming different platforms all day long.
Orange bell peppers, walnuts, tart cherries, tomatoes.
I made some apple butter I keep saying apple butter. Almond butter. But I don't have a millstone, so it's kind of a little thicker than I'd like. And I feel like I could probably make like those Almond Joy candies out of it if I like shaped it into like a ball or something and dipped it in chocolate.
Supreme. He needs to get hired as president. I feel like he can do our country some good. Vernon Supreme. He's running for president.
Worse than what we've got right now. I mean, all presidents have their own level of bullshit, so whatever.
Boot on his head and a promise to save police.
You know, it's only $200 to apply to be president.
How much is it to run for president?
If you see me like stabbing my neck, it's because I'm so fucking itchy from this poison whatever that I can't even.
Make about $400,000 a year.
Just
considering right now I make like $15,000.
So I joined Facebook dating. That was a mistake. I got a lucky pick. You really think he's gonna respond? He's probably a bot. It's probably not even a real person. Blue Ridge Community College, like, what? That even exist? Like, I have to look up people whenever they're online to make sure that they're a real person. I mean, I might be a stalker. I don't know. I consider myself to be more like an undercover agent rather than a stalker, but that's just me. What else? All right. Now we've been an hour streaming. I do need to get back out into the yard and finish doing the tree work now that it's slightly probably going to be more shaded than it was earlier.
Or hotter.
You might be right. Yeah, it's 86. One good thing, around 9 o'clock, it'll be 75. All right. Does talking make you feel better afterwards?
Not really.
It depends on what the outcome is, or like what your expectation of talking is. Like, what do you expect that the outcome is going to make everything better? Or is it like, are you expecting that by talking about it, it's going to release some pressure off of you in that moment? Because I've noticed that there's been times where we've talked about things that happened in the past and it comes up randomly, but it's because it was on your mind. And being able to talk about it with somebody who is going to understand, or at the very least be compassionate about what it is that you're talking about, then I feel like it's worth it. That's cool. Should do that. So, with that being said, should I do like a cleanup stream?
What do you mean?
Should I keep streaming? Have you guys? Did you guys end up getting it attached to your game system? Or did it not work?
Mine wasn't loading. The game, not the stream.
I had someone tell me the other day. They said, "Hi, just wanted to say hey." I said, "Thanks. You're welcome. Apparently we have a friend in common, but we'll not tell you who, and you can send me anything." I'm like, what do you mean? He said, so I sent your picture to a friend of mine saying, hey, look at her. And he's like, I know her. We're friends on Facebook. It's not a bad thing. It's kind of funny, actually. I was like, no one knows me. I have no friends. He says, y'all are on Facebook, but doesn't want to know who he is. I'm just glad he showed me a TikTok of you. And I'm just like, whatever. Keep your secrets. Okay.
I know life's got bad when I start getting Claire's ads on my For You page.
Claire's?
Claire's. Like people piercing their ears at Claire's. I'm never going to get a piercing at Claire's. I have enough. I walk into Claire's and
we go to the tattoo shop to get your piercings. And that's why, the reason why I kind of enforce that is because it's a lot cleaner than you would be if you were at home doing it.
I pierced one side. Which one? This side.
I was going to say the other side.
By myself. And I haven't really had issues with it. It's closed a couple of times for the fact that...
Another thing with getting the piercings at a tattoo shop is that you do have to sign a waiver. But that also gives you
I have a...
kind of like an agreement between the two of you saying that, like, if anything happens kind of thing.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
I have a picture of the consent form QR code.
Yeah.
So I don't have to keep scanning it. So I can go ahead and do it before we get to the tattoo shop. So I can basically just go and be like, hey, look, here's I have the QR code. I don't know why I was hiding it. It's not like they can scan it. It's like,
yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? Just fill out the
I mean,
consent
technically
form?
you can. Technically you can.
And saw this little...
Yeah. I like that.
Then these little sparkles.
That's 90s. No, that's 2000s because that's an emoji. Oh, my butt is stuck to the seat.
I didn't...
Right here.
But the jar Angie wanted.
Angie has that jar. Look at your hair.
The piercings were like brand new.
Yeah, show them. How short her hair was in that picture.
That was like a month ago.
That's funny. So yeah. I don't know. What do you think we should talk about next week? Like, what are some other topics that kind of went along with today? We did talk about, like, the ASL being different. Mouthing words. Anything new? Translation. I'm just going to put Google because I don't know what the website is.
It was April 16th when I went and got my piercings. And today is June 19th. So 2 months and 3 days I've had these and they're still not healed. Well, they're almost there. They're supposed to take up to 6 months to heal. So fun. So patch.
So next week.
6 months. What's next week?
See, this is a part of communication.
I need to redye my hair.
That was awesome.
My next paycheck
is miscommunication wall right there. What do you think we should talk about next week in the stream? Silly. The languages. That's what I was asking. Like, do you have any questions about, like, is there something that, like, maybe you could think that we could look up or talk about?
Why is it growing so much? Well, I guess it's been 2 months. So, I guess. Don't you wanna know what it is?
What are different ways to communicate without words internationally?
Just the international nod to say hi.
Okay is actually an international word, and it's also a tribal word.
Yeah, this is okay. Like,
yeah. Gavin's looking
Hi,
older
Puffy.
by the minute.
You have purple marks down your forehead.
No, that's what I was
like a
talking about.
tiger.
Gavin got poison something also.
Poisoned by me.
But your eyes look a little better.
Oh yeah, I feel better too.
This hair is.
He's got it bad. Like I might have to take him to. So personal learning. What is something that we can?
Y'all need to learn how to not
Tip
get
for
poison
everybody:
ivy when
do
you're.
not mess with poison ivy or poison.
It's like, get away from my back,
Sucks.
sir. Wow, the back of my shoulder is so tan compared to the rest of me.
So for those of you who don't know, this is Renee and that's Gavin. So two of my many children.
I was about to fall onto your shoulder, and then I'm like,
There's the Duggar.
Anyway.
All right, so we'll talk more next week.
hello.
Crazy.